Modern Warfare 2 was the first game I played online, and I had a blast. I used cold-blooded and I would just corpse on the ground with a FAL and not really do anything other than piss people off. And I wasn't very good, but it was a lot of fun. And most people did have fun with Modern Warfare 2. But if you compare my experience with my friends' experiences, and the larger community's experiences, really, two very different things were going on. One group, the group I was in, was just playing for fun. The other group, the group my friends were in, the group many YouTubers were in, the group many players were in, were the quickscopers, the trickshotters, the faggots, depending on who you ask. I mean, they get mocked often with these montage parodies. And I certainly disliked them myself when I was playing, because they took everything so seriously and stomped all over fun. But looking back on it, I'd call them, and hear me out here, the cool kids. I've been playing loads of Titanfall 2 recently, and it's given me a new perspective on competitive multiplayer games. In Titanfall 2, there's a system called momentum. When you move, you slide, you wall run, you jump, you stim, you build momentum. This dictates how fast you're moving, and when you finally land, you lose all your momentum and come to a full stop. But there are methods of maintaining this momentum without stopping, such as slide hopping, skiing, air strafing, and some super neato grappling hook moves I've been watching. And obviously, moving faster and outmaneuvering your competition using your momentum not only improves your ratings, but also creates this dance of death. Or maybe not so much a dance as much as a sprint. This mile-a-minute sprint of shooting, skiing, hooking, kicking, and jumping your opponent straight into the ground. And it is badass. It is so badass, both playing it and watching it. It is loads of fun. And it's particularly neat because not everybody is doing it. Not everybody is using these mobility tricks to improve their game. Like, over half the people playing Titanfall 2 on console are just running around shooting their hemlocks like it's COD. Knowing about the mobility tricks begins feeling like you're part of this secret club, and using them in-game feels like you're some sort of angel of death descending on the battlefield, killing all of the innocent plebs who don't know any better. It's a huge power and ego trip, and I gotta admit, it's a load of fun. And then suddenly it hit me while I was flying at 1,000,000 miles an hour through the sky with a gun like a retarded kid on rocket skis. I wonder if the quickscoping community was sort of the same thing, or at least had the same feeling. Playing one game but playing a completely separate one in your head, with a completely separate community and class of players above everybody else, emphasizing skill and style above all else, with exotic guidelines and flavor, and people on top to admire and strive and practice and fight to get as good as, and new people below to kick and beat and make fun of. And forced to go through really stupid initiations where you 1v1 on Rust, using only interventions. And that's why these montage guys, these quickscopers, these trickshot dudes are so often mocked with montage parodies and swag compilations. It's because they hide this higher plane of play and skill, and these exclusive communities behind a wall of autism, like resumes and initiations and the 12-year-old monster stereotype, the swag boy, the guy in the checkered cap, all that good shit. That's why they're mocked. And I'm not going to defend them and say that it's not autistic, because it is. Jesus Christ, it is. But I am saying there's a campy chic to it, worth noting and admiring. Maybe even appreciating. Because where do you think that 12-year-old screecher stereotype comes from? Well, it's from 12-year-old faggots playing COD, obviously. Trying to slip in some last-minute trick-shot quickscopes before their mom comes in and tells them to go to bed. But that's kinda cool, isn't it? Participating in this larger community, who all admire these certain role models who they aim to imitate by playing and practicing, devoting a lot of effort and time into improving themselves and getting better at a skill, even if it is just playing a game. And like any skill, like any sport with the role models you look up to, you're probably not ever going to get as good as them, but what you can do with work is pull off some really cool shit on your own, and show off to your friends and show off to other people and feel good about yourself and find your place in this larger community, which I think can contribute to helping find your place in the world. You're not going to be FaZe Jeb, and you don't need to be. You can be you. You can put in the work and the practice and the time and the patience and the effort and the care, and you can be you. And that's perfectly fine. Great even, because if you do keep with it, you probably will get really good. Maybe not God tier, maybe not professional, but really good nonetheless. Take me in Titanfall, for instance. I'm probably never going to be as good as GameSager here, the guy who set the world record for Titanfall 2's Gauntlet, completing the entire thing in just 20.9 seconds. But you know what I can do? I can move from 57 seconds to 35. Which doesn't sound like much, but that's huge. That's huge improvement. And it took a lot of work to get there. It took watching videos about how momentum works in Titanfall 2 and how to get it and how to maintain it. And it took hours of practicing in the Gauntlet to apply what I learned and use it to better my time. And once I got down to 35 seconds in the Gauntlet, I went into multiplayer using the momentum and kicked ass there too. And just doing that, playing a game, practicing, watching videos, communicating with people, learning from them, and improving, even if it is just a game, felt so much better than what I was doing previously, which was just staring at my phone, looking at memes, wondering why everything sucked so much. This stupid game and its metagame community, or whatever you want to call it, was good. It was good for me, good for the heart. And I get the feeling all those 12-year-olds back in the day who were playing Modern Warfare 2, my friends included, all the quickscopers and trick-shotting people, men of the world, I'm sure it was really good for them too. So laugh at montage parodies and call your little brother a faggot, but give him a little slack and a little respect too. Because competitive high-skill gaming is the only frontier they may ever know. It's the only place they can feel challenged, and where they can fit in. The only place where they can be space cowboys and have quick-draw duels at high noon, with interventions on Rust. And you might not be so different, Mr. I play League of Legends, Mr. I watch CSGO competitively sometimes. Mr. I'm subscribed to a League channel on YouTube. You might not be so different from them. I see you. I see you. But whatever you're doing, and whatever they're doing, all that matters is that you're doing. Doing, even if it's just playing a game, is better than sitting and rotting, going to your job or school every day, counting the minutes, waiting to die. Being, even if it's just being gay, is so much better than not. And I am so glad that we have AAA gaming and autists on the internet teaching young guys how to be, with a mixture of community, practice, and effort, while also being completely self-aware and laughing at themselves. Ideally, anyways.